Hello and welcome to another video which will get you the top grades. Today's video actually comes from you guys. It's from a poll I did on the community, and I said send in your questions about what you would like to know about the exams. There were 132 comments, and what's really useful for us is every time you like a comment, YouTube ranks it. So I know that 57 of that 137 wanted to know this. So that's where we'll start, and we'll move down the list in order of topics that you most wanted to know. So coming in at number 1 is Sam Barber, who says, what would you say is a realistic amount of time we should spend revising each night between now and our exams? Brilliant question. The key word is realistic. Now, to start with, I'd say all your homework now should be revision. So if your teachers give you anything that isn't revision, which I think is unlikely, you need to negotiate with them, because you don't want to spend time after school doing stuff which isn't revision. Then you have to sit down and say, well, how much is reasonable? Well, we're used to a job being 9 to 5. Now, let's say your school day starts at 9. It probably finishes around 3:30. So that gives you a 1.5 hours of revision every night, just to be like a normal standard person in real life. This is the person you're going to be in just a few years' time. And that's not if you're doing a high-powered job or a job that's necessarily going to lead to high income or lots of responsibility, or even something that will interest you. This is just bog standard, this is how long I work. So 1.5 hours is your minimum. Now, I don't think that's a lot, because obviously as a student you think I'm doing 1.5 hours extra, but actually it's not. That's just bringing you up to a normal person. You know, the adult that you're going to be in just 2 years' time. If you went out and got a job at 18, well, that's what you'd do. The next part of the answer is, well, I would do as much extra as seems practical, and that will depend on you as an individual. You might be studying musical instruments, you might have a part-time job, you might look after your siblings, or hopefully you're doing something amazing in drama or sport or whatever. So you can't work all night, because that wouldn't be practical and it would lead to too much stress. The next principle is that, let's imagine you're revising for an hour. Well, that hour spent revising one topic is less useful than revising 3 different topics for 20 minutes each in that 1 hour. This will help you in 2 ways. First, your brain will go, that's a bit difficult. I keep switching ideas every 20 minutes. And because it's difficult, your brain will concentrate more and you'll remember more. But also, you'll come back to, let's say you're studying English literature. Why not? It's the best subject in the world. So you do 20 minutes today, and then you do another 20 minutes in 2 days' time. Because you've left a gap, your brain will remember a lot more. Whereas if you did 60 minutes all in one go, your brain will actually remember less. Now, this means your 1.5 hours can be super efficient because you do several subjects within that 1.5 hours. That means you remember a lot more over time. And what that means is you're not having to spend 3 or 4 hours revision a day, because you're much more efficient in what you do. So that's my answer to how long you should be revising. Let me show you a bit more good news. This is what my views have looked like over the last 12 months. So you can see last April I was getting about 11,000 views a day, and that was May. Now people are already revising much harder. Look, 14,000 in March, 11, 12,000, 10,000 in March. People are 2 months ahead this year. But look what happened during the exam period. People revised just the night before the exam. Look at that, 111,000 views before the exam. What's this one up here? 284,000 views before the exam. Now, what this tells you is that other students are not using my videos to revise earlier. Some are, obviously, but hundreds of thousands of students aren't. So this brings you to the next most important point. It's not what you know necessarily that's going to get you the grade in any of your GCSEs. It's who you beat. In other words, you're only competing against everybody else. The exam board doesn't say if you reach a certain percentage, you get that grade. Oh no. The exam board says we will rank all the percentages and then we'll just say the top 19% in the country will get grade 7 and above. So your job is just to get into the top 19%, isn't it? So really what you're saying is, well, if I do 1.5 hours a night now, I'm probably ahead of 80% of the rest of the country, or maybe 70%. And then I'm going to add in as much extra as seems practical based on the grades that I want. Now that should also take all the stress out of revision, because if you start now and you find yourself learning more and more, you will therefore feel more confident, you will be getting higher marks in your practice papers that no doubt you're doing for homework and in class, and you will be doing better than all the other students nationally, so you will beat them going up that league table and get a higher grade. And if you'd like some more help on how to revise, just type Mr. Salles how to revise into YouTube and you get a number of videos. Ignore the Macbeth one, that's just about Macbeth. That's the most recent one I've done. So you've got 3 videos there which show you how to revise. And when I put Mr. Salles Revise playlist in, I find that I don't have a how to revise playlist. I will make one. And hopefully link it somewhere around here. Don't leave your revision to luck. Start now, hour and a half at least a day. No stress, no problem. Good luck in the exams.